Hey everybody, it's Kate, the West Coast paper crafter. I'm off to a good start already. It is Monday, July 22nd, 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And if you are tuning in with me, I am in East on Vancouver Island, Canada. So tonight I have a very easy fun fold project to share with you tonight. And everything is cut out and ready to go. So I'm going to flip the camera around and we'll get started. So close your eyes if you get dizzy, because when I flip the camera, it's really bumpy. All right, so you got a shot of my messy kitchen. Now I'm just going to adjust so you can see my workstation. All right, I have just a couple things to do to get set up, and then we will get going. Okay. So I've got all the pieces cut and ready to go. I've got a piece of Countryside Inn designer series paper, and I've cut this to 8 by 5 1/4, and it's scored at 4 on the 8-inch side. I've got a piece of Boho Blue. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this is going to make up our card base. This is just basic white. And this is 7 by 4 3/4, and I've scored it in half on the long side, so it's scored at 3 1/2. And then I've got another strip of Boho Blue that is 1 by 5 1/4. So the first thing we're going to do is glue this designer series paper onto our card base. So I'm going to use my liquid glue, just because I always seem to need a little bit of wiggle room whenever I stick something down. So I'm just throwing some glue on the back, and then I'm going to glue this piece of designer series paper, just the back side of it, onto my Boho Blue. All right. Just like that. And then this piece of basic white is going to be glued to the inside. But before I do that, I'm just going to do a little bit of decorating on it. So tonight I thought I would try out a little bit of blending with my Post-it note tape. So I'm just going to get this tape, I'm going to line this up on my glass mat, and I'm going to try to get this tape straight across and in the middle. Have to look at it closely here. I don't want it on an angle. All right, that looks about right. Hey Marianne, thanks for tuning in. Hello Nancy, nice to see you both live tonight. All right, so I've got some balmy blue, and I'm just gonna do a little bit of blending on the bottom of my basic white, or sorry, what I mean to say is beneath the Post-it note tape and then on the top. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of shading, not too much. I just don't want it to be totally white. And a little more blue. Maybe a little bit more. It's a little heavy in this corner, so I'm going to try to even that out. So it looks like I meant to do that, which I actually didn't, but that's okay. It'll be fine. All right, so I've just added a little bit of color. I'm not going to be too picky about it. And then I'm going to take a darker blue. I'm going to use Misty Moonlight, and I'm going to stamp some flowers. So I'm just going to stamp a row of flowers right on top of that Post-it note tape. So the flowers are just about touching the top of this basic white. And then I'm going to flip it around. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, I'll get that out of the way. Well, hello, Belinda from Houston. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull this up, and I'm gonna get rid of my ink so I don't get any ink on my white cardstock. Check my fingers, because I always have ink hiding on my fingers. And then I'm just pulling off my Post-it note tape, like so. And I'm going to put a sentiment right in this white strip. And I'm just going to do another darker blue. This one's Night of Navy. And I'm using a sentiment from Thoughtful Expressions. I'm actually using 3 different stamp sets tonight. The flowers were from Thoughtful Wishes. The sentiment for my inside piece is Thoughtful Expressions, and then I'm going to use Simply Scripted for the front of the card. All right, so I'm just going to put this to the right. Get this out of the way before I get my fingers in the ink. Now this piece, actually, I want to do one more thing. This piece I'm going to glue to the inside of the card like this. So it's going to open opposite than the card front. But I need to add a little bit of stamping on the inside of this basic white. Hey Cindy, thanks for tuning in. Hello Jody. From Alberta, I hear it is hot in Alberta, Jody. I hope you are staying cool. My parents live in Alberta and they've had a heat wave for over a week and they're ready for some cooler weather. Hey Robin, from Moose Jaw tonight. Are you making your way to the island? Are you like actually on the way to move down? Hello Dottie, thanks for tuning in. All right, so now I'm just gonna add some glue to the back of this basic white. And that's gonna get glued to the inside of our card. What did I do? There we go. I almost thought I stamped those flowers on backwards, which honestly would not surprise me because I definitely make some mistakes. Cindy, Chilliwack gets hot often, doesn't it? It feels like a hot place. My husband's aunt lives in Chilliwack and I think she's got some hot summers. All right, so now we've got the front of the card. Here is the inside, our fun fold. And all I want to do now is just add a little bit to the front of the card. And that's how quick and easy this fun fold is. Oh, you're on the way. Ferry Friday morning. Do you have a reservation or are you just gonna wing it? I'm a reservation girl for the ferry. I'd like to have a reservation, but my husband wings it and he always lucks out. So this sentiment is from the Sweetly Scripted and it's pretty long. When I have a bigger stamp, I tend to ink it up upside down. I find that a little bit easier, so I'll put my stamp down and then I'll tap the pad on the stamp versus like tapping directly onto the ink pad. Just my personal preference. All right, now I'm going to try to get my happy birthday right in the middle of this Boho Blue strip. I'm going to gently press down because I don't want to smush it. Perfect. That worked out really good. And then all I want to do is add this strip to the front of the DSP and then we'll put a little bit of bling on and the card will be done. Oh, Belinda, my son and I got into Heartland too, and we really got into it, but we didn't get it finished before it left Netflix, so we're kind of left in the loop. We don't exactly know how it ended, but we did really enjoy that show. It used to be a nightly thing. We'd catch an episode of Heartland on Netflix. And yes, Moose Jaw is a real city. All right, so now I'm just adding this about not quite in the middle, a little bit closer to the bottom of the card. And I think I'm going to use some of these brass butterflies to add a little bit of bling to this card. I haven't used very many of these. They've been collecting dust, so let's give it a try. Oh, I lost the backing of that one. There we go. Maybe they're getting too old and they're drying out. I'm not sure. Is that a thing? Can our embellishments dry out? All right, one more, and I'm going to stick that right up in the corner. So that is it. Super simple fun fold. Doesn't take very long to throw it together, and you could do it with any of your papers, any sentiments. So this one I did as a sample, and I just used a different sentiment, and I used some old gems. I can't even tell you what the name is. Oh, tinsel gems. I don't think we can get these anymore. I totally could be wrong though. And I did the same sort of thing with the blending and the flowers. And then I did another one with just ink, stamps, and paper. So there's no ribbon, there's no bling. This is just pattern paper and cardstock and stamps. So this one is the Flowering Zinnias Designer Series paper. And I used the Sketch Butterfly stamp set. And I thought this one turned out really pretty as well. But I am partial to the butterflies in the Sketch Butterfly stamp set. So anyway, that is it. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Robin. I love the butterflies too. And I'm not on my third package, but that's my second. And Belinda, it's the 17th season already? Well, we'll have to find another streaming service to watch it on because we really did enjoy it. Thank you, Marianne. Sorry, Cindy, which set did I use for, if you're talking about this one, this is the Sketch Butterflies stamp set and the Flowering Zinnias Designer Series paper. And then this one, I used the sentiments from Thoughtful Wishes, both sentiments, the stamp set here. And then the card I just showed you guys, I used this stamp set for the flowers, this stamp set for the inside sentiment, and Sweetly Scripted. All right, I hope I covered it, Cindy. If not, send me a message. All right, thank you, Lorraine. Thanks, Nikki. All right, what do I have to tell you? Oh, I do have some things to tell you. If you shop with Stamping Up, tomorrow is a free shipping day. It's with, if you're in Canada, you need to have a minimum $100 order and you can get free shipping, which I love free shipping days. And frankly, I don't think we get enough notice because typically I order and then they announce a free shipping day. So that's how it rolls for me. Of course, I put in an order and now there's free shipping, but I'm pretty sure I can stock up on some cardstock. So if you're in Canada, your minimum order is $100. You can get free shipping. I'm not sure about the States. Less than $100 because your dollar is, well, Canada's dollar is lower. So, and I also heard, but I haven't seen it yet, but I did see some demonstrators are announcing that Paper Pumpkin past kits and refills are going to be discounted starting tomorrow and for a few days, and some of them you can get for up to 75% off. So that's a pretty good deal. And if you are local and you can pick up from me and you don't have a $100 order, just let me know and you can piggyback on my order. I don't mind doing that. And same thing with the Paper Pumpkin refills. If you don't have a Paper Pumpkin subscription, you can still order any of the refills from me because I have one and I'm happy to share that with you. All right, I'm gonna flip the camera around. Close your eyes, it's gonna get bumpy. And just in case you're new, you might have questions. This is not a real spider, it's a sun catcher. Sometimes it freaks people out if they're joining me brand new and they think I've just got ginormous spiders in my house, which oftentimes we do get ginormous spiders in our house in the wintertime, but not in the summer. So that is it for me tonight. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the cards. And if you decide to give this fun fold a try, please post your creations and let me see what you make. I really love that. If you're catching this video on replay, say hello, tell me where you're from, and thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to everybody soon.